Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about patch 10.2.6 and Plunderstorm, which is World of Warcraft's Battle Royale mode, which has just dropped with the secret 10.2.6 patch. In this video we're going to talk about Plunderstorm and the Battle Royale mode, everything you need to know about this brand new mode, how to get into it, how it works, all the rewards, everything like that. But before we jump into that, guys, just want to shout out my Twitch, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, Dragonflight PTR, Plunderstorm, all that good stuff, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. Right, so yes, the secret patch 10.2.6 was indeed called Plunderstorm. This is an experimental battle royale mode, which is kind of separate from the main game. However, the rewards do go over to the main game. Now, this has launched on March 19th and March 20th, depending on your region. Obviously, not a global release, unfortunately. That's hopefully something we can see with these secret patches if they were to do it again. Now, what is Plunderstorm? Plunderstorm is a limited time event. Now, it's not clear how long this will last, but it's pretty likely probably until the War Within pre-patch or something like that. However, I would imagine if the feedback is good and people love it, then obviously this will be extended and potentially become a evergreen feature of the game. Now, this mode is actually available to all active WoW players. The only thing you need is a World of Warcraft subscription. No Dragonflight or War Within is required to play this mode, and it runs off of the retail client. So if you're a classic player with a sub, all you have to do here is download the Dragonflight client and you'll be able to play this brand new mode. Now, these battles last around 10 to 15 minutes inside a modified version of the Battle for Azeroth Arathi Highlands, which is really cool. Hopefully we'll see more maps in the future, but the map we have right now is the Battle for Azeroth version of Arathi Highlands. Now, this mode is a 60-player battle royal. This can be done solo or in a duo. You can actually group up with your friends for duos, or you can solo queue for duos if you'd like to do that, and you'll be queued with a random. Now, obviously as well, solos will fight solos and duos will fight duos in this mode, so very exciting there. So let's talk about the mode itself. To access this brand new mode, you will need to download the retail client as mentioned, and once you get to the character select screen, you'll see a new logo in the top left of the screen. This is the new Plunderstorm logo, and it will say that it's a limited time event. Once you click that, that'll take you over to a brand new character select screen, which is completely separate from your current characters. And now on this screen, you'll see that you can access your friends list and the chat to organize groups and get into a group for the storm, and it will have a little bit of information about the mode and your current renown level, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now, you won't need a character for this. You actually create a brand new character inside the mode. You won't have classes or roles or specs, and all races are available apart from the Dracthyr, and even if you don't have them unlocked, so if you don't have allied races unlocked, you will be able to access these allied races inside this mode. All races obviously operate the same, just obviously the model is different. You also won't be picking a name. Your name is generated off of your battle tag without the numbers, so that's pretty cool. So once you've decided whether you want to do solo or duos, you queue into the battle and you will join the Plunderstorm. Now, the first thing you're going to notice as you load into the game is that the interface will be completely different. Now, this mode does not use add-ons. Any add-ons you have previously will be disabled and not active during this mode. A pretty bold move from Blizzard, but honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think that's really cool. The other thing you're going to immediately notice is a very minimal user interface. Now, down the bottom, you'll have 7 buttons. So the first button is going to be attack. There's no auto attack in Plunderstorm, so that's really interesting. The next one will be a permanent healing potion. Then you'll have some empty buttons, 2 for offensive and 2 for utility. You'll also be able to customize all of these keybinds as well, which is really nice, and that won't affect your regular game. So these are completely unique keybinds, and if you plug in a game controller, you can also bind these 2 controller buttons as well, which is awesome. So I might actually try this with a controller. I think it could be a really fun mode to use that. Other buttons you'll be able to keybind is the interact and ping buttons, and those are going to be pretty important, especially if you're playing duos. Beyond the user interface, the other thing you'll notice here as you load into the game, you'll be in a brand new area. This is Brew Bay, and this is a new area in the Arathi Highlands. Now, you're not going to be in this area for very long, for about 30 seconds to a minute here. You'll be able to try out some of the abilities you'll be getting and see how some of the mechanics work, but you're not going to be spending a lot of time here. If you've played a Battle Royale before, this is kind of your warm-up area. Now, let's talk about how the kind of match flow works. So once you're out of Brew Bay, you'll start the match and you launch into a parrot mount. Now this is a dynamic flying mount and you'll be able to fly down into the battle area. Once you land, you'll notice some differences from regular WoW. One thing you'll notice is that there'll be no full damage in this mode. You'll also be able to double jump all the time, which is really fun. There'll be no out of combat healing, which is interesting, and as mentioned, no auto attack as well. So you'll be using that keybind to do your auto attack. You also have a permanent health potion, as mentioned. There won't be any gear and there won't be any spells. Now, spells are the most interesting part here. So as you're running around Arathi Highlands, you'll be picking up different abilities. And as mentioned, depending if they're offensive or utility, you'll have 2 of each of these. These will auto keybind onto your bar once they are collected. Spells will have 4 ranks. You'll have uncommon for rank 1, common for rank 2, rare for rank 3, and epic for rank 4. So if you pick up the same ability twice, it will just naturally upgrade that ability, and all of these abilities will be able to be used while moving. So it's going to be a really fast-paced and epic battle, which is just a ton of fun. Now, as you go around the battle fighting monsters and other players, your character will be leveling. The max level for each game is level 10, and obviously as you gain levels, you gain power, as you'd imagine. And much like other Battle Royale games, there'll be a storm coming in. Now, on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the storm timer. This is a circle which gets smaller and smaller as the game goes on, and obviously you have to avoid that, because if you get caught in the storm, you're going to die and it's not going to be good for you. And this is obviously going to be shown on the map as well, so you don't get kind of lost in there and caught up in it. That's kind of the basic gameplay: run around, kill people, collect plunder, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now, the match ends for you. Obviously, if you're eliminated early, you can spectate other players or leave the game if you like to. If you're in a duo, you can spectate your other duo as well if they're still alive. And obviously, the higher position you end the game in, you'll get more plunder, which is reputation, which we'll talk about in detail in a second. And that's essentially how a game will work. You'll jump in, you'll kill people, you'll kill monsters, you'll level to 10, you'll get spells, and just have a crazy time. This is a lot different to your regular World of Warcraft PvP experience. It's just awesome. It's really incredible, and it's really nice to see them kind of experimenting with something as crazy as this. So, let's talk about Plunder and Renown. So, the whole point of this is a reputation grind. Now, Plunder, reputation, kind of the same thing here, but we'll just call it Plunder for the sake of the video. Now, there are 40 levels of Renown with 2,500 Plunder per level. Now, Plunder is gained through the match that we just mentioned, so completing the star quest, killing monsters, killing players, winning the match, or completing the match will give you various amounts of Plunder. And each level of Renown will give you more cool and unique pirate-themed rewards. Now, the cool thing about this Renown track is some of the rewards are actually going to be given in Classic WoW as well as the modern game. So for Classic WoW players playing through the Plunderstorm, you can expect to get a unique parrot flying mount for Classic WoW. Now, when I say Classic WoW, I mean Wrath and Cataclysm era, not Classic era like SOD and Hardcore and things like that. You're not getting any rewards for that. This is simply going to be for Wrath Lich King and upcoming Cataclysm. You also get a unique crab pet as well. And that parrot mount and crab pet will also be available for the modern game as well. Speaking of which, for the modern game, there is a ton of rewards here, including various pirate-themed weapons, which are all unique models, which just look absolutely phenomenal. You also get a awesome-looking pirate-themed transmog set, as well as a new tabard, an eye patch, and of course, a pirate Pepe. There's a bunch of different rewards on this Renown track. That'll just be its entirely own video. But yes, there are a bunch of awesome pirate-themed rewards through this event, and the art team have just absolutely killed it, as you'd imagine, as usual. So yeah, that's it. That is Plunderstorm. That is the 10.2.6 patch. The secret patch, which has been teased since last December, is finally here, and it's super unique and different. I do wonder if this will only be a limited time event, or this is something we can see expanded in the future. Only time will tell, and feedback from the player base will obviously be the judge of that. So let me know down below what you think of Plunderstorm. What do you think of the 10.2.6 content, this unique Battle Royale play mode, which none of us saw coming at all? So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon, and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And as mentioned, I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me streaming World of Warcraft, Dragonflight, War Within Alpha, Plunderstorm, Season of Discovery, all sorts of World of Warcraft, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.